Never seen a lame man walk, never heard a dumb man talk, never seen a blind man see. I promise you will change his name. Never seen a canceled debt, never seen all the poor get fed, never seen a prisoner set free. I promise you will change his name. And find a home. Never seen the weak find the strength.
Hey everybody! It is time for the Big C, Bigger T podcast. I'm your boy, Bigger T, Big C, Clint Clark, freshly shaven.
Yeah.
Clean face. How you doing, buddy?
Man, I'm good, but I don't know how long it's been since I've been without facial hair.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? It's been a cruddy couple weeks for me personally. You know, there's been some highs, but there's been a lot of lows. So I'm like, you know what? I just fresh start. Let's shave it all off. Let's start anew.
Clean canvas. See what happens.
So yeah. We're going no. I thought about just keeping the mustache, but I mean, just me. I don't look right with just mustache. Like,
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
The whole just the mustache thing. Unless you're a cop or something,
it
sort of goes creepy.
Yeah,
on most people, not everybody.
No,
but most.
I mean, like you got your Tom Sellecks, who's just know Sam Elliott, just like you know what? If you're not Tom Selleck or Sam Elliott and you have a mustache and you're not a cop, shave it.
That's right. That's right.
Shave it. Thank you. You've heard it here. Just shave that thing. You don't look right. You look weird.
Everybody, thanks for joining us on the podcast. Whether you're watching on YouTube, whether you're watching on or listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, Amazon,
TuneIn Radio,
iHeartRadio, whatever else you can listen wherever you want. But last week, Clint, we had the biggest Razorback preview ever.
Yeah. It was girthy. It was girthy.
Dare I say our boy?
Or boy, Big O, Oliver Miller.
How cool is it to say that?
Man, it's pretty cool. What no one else knew is that you were late getting on because you're very rude.
Yeah. Well,
but you had other things going on. But I literally got to sit down and like just have a one-on-one conversation with Oliver Miller for like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool, you know, and it was we talked basketball because me and him had talked about the dream team thing before.
Yeah.
Or at least, you know, his chances of being on the Liberty team. We talked about that before the podcast. And he's like, man, he goes, man, I'd have been honored, would have played, but he goes, man, you got to think about it, you know. And I didn't think about Alonzo Mourning being around that time too, because I just think, you know, him and Shaquille O'Neal, that was the battle down low.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah, man, that's just a lot of fun being around him, and he's just
like you said, he's just a fan,
just a great Hog fan.
He loves. And you know, one thing that I did, me and you talked about, and we got to clip it out, is Eric Musselman. Bring these guys back for Midnight Madness.
That's right.
You reach out to Big O.
Bring him back. Bring him back. Bring him back.
He's been to where you want to go. He's been to the Final Four.
That's right.
Bring him back.
We need him. And yeah. Hey, we got some shot blockers up there now. So he can, you know, work with them a little bit, maybe show them a few things, how to control that ball once they block it. And yeah. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. If you hadn't watched it, Clint predicted an undefeated season, folks.
I did.
Big O and I predicted 2 losses. And I still, man, I look at that schedule, Clint. You know, I thought about something after we got through with that schedule. One of the games, and one thing I didn't bring up, and I heard somebody else bring it up on a radio show or something. You know, that South Carolina game, Beamer last year won 7 games
Yeah.
with a grad assistant at quarterback.
He did.
Started out the season in the coaching booth. Said, come on down. You're the next contestant on You Need a Quarterback. Won 7 games with that guy. Now he has a guy that was one of the top recruits in the country. Even though you and I are not big fans of him, we think
I know.
He's got talent, though. If Beamer can get something out of him, that could be a scary game, that second game of the season right there.
Well, they're all scary. There is not you show me a game where we can just roll ourselves out on the field and say, hey, we're Arkansas, we're an SEC team.
Yeah.
Again, there may be one. I mean, I'm going to give you Missouri State because they're an FCS team. I'll give you that one, even though Chad Morris beat Portland State, that juggernaut, that FCS powerhouse.
Yeah.
It was like a middle of the road, crappy FCS conference school.
Yeah.
He beat them by 7.
Yeah.
I'll never apologize for a win.
That's right. Thanks, Chad.
Yeah, thanks, Chad. But anyway, so I'll give you that one. But Chad Morris would probably go 1-11 against this schedule. And it's because it is a tough schedule.
And by the way, the new AP poll is out, and Arkansas is 19th.
Yeah.
RJ Young of Fox Sports, a Tulsa guy, he has Arkansas ranked 9th for his end of the year predictions, where he thinks they'll end up.
Yeah, I do think I will stand by this statement. If Arkansas wins double-digit games, KJ Jefferson is in New York.
Yeah.
Period. That's the long and short of it. I think I'm saying he's going to do it because I think he's that good. But for them to do that,
if he's not, it's a snub, big time.
Yeah, it's not. It is a big time snub. So.
All right, Clint.
But now, speaking of South Carolina, that can bring us to our Holy Shnikes moment.
Right. We got our Holy Shnikes. We didn't because we had Big O on last week. We didn't do a Holy Shnikes.
Yeah, we got 2 of them. We're going to give you a double dose this week.
That's right. We're going to give you a double dose. As you know, we do this on a regular basis, and ode to one of our favorite actors and comedians of all time, Chris Farley. Holy Shnikes.
I'm wearing a Chris Farley shirt.
That's right. It's your only response when you hear some of these things. Tell us about South.
Now, here's the thing. South Carolina, they ended last year on an uptick, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You'd say, all right, man, we're on the up and up. In Arkansas, if we'd have won 7-5, went to the prestigious Duke Mayo Bowl, formerly known as the Belk Bowl, still the best follow on Twitter.
Best Twitter follow
of every bowl game there is. If you're not following, you're a college football fan, you're doing Twitter wrong. Delete your account. So, but they're on the uptick. I mean, and you just bring in, like, I think he's terrible, but, he's still like, somebody's got him rated as the number 4 quarterback in college football. They got Spencer Rattler. So you got a lot of things going for you, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You wouldn't think they'd have to sell single game tickets at Costco. You figure you just say, hey, here's the number, get on the website. No, but let's just say you're like, man, what do I need? I need a bunch of mayonnaise. I need a bunch of flour, bottled water, grapes.
I need one of those
chicken,
like big barrels of cheese puffs.
Cheese puffs. You know what? While I'm here, Bobo, give me some South Carolina tickets.
Why not, buddy?
And so I have a friend. I have Daniel Labrador. I used to work for him at the movie theater when I first got to Raleigh, North Carolina. He's a dirty Gamecock fan. But he did. I sent him this. I'm like, and I sent him the picture of it. I'm just like, bro. And then we talked for a second. He goes, yeah, if I remember correctly, it comes with a food voucher, and parking.
That's crazy.
I mean, Look, I won't be honest with you guys. When I was a little bit younger, we used to set midget wrestling up at they called it midget wrestling, little person wrestling, whatever. I don't want to be politically correct. But we set the wrestling up at Ray Winder Field, and then they went at it. That's what you need to do. You need to get some attractions.
That's right.
Like, I don't think you should resort to selling your tickets at Costco. Like, get Hootie to play. Hootie would love to play.
Yeah, Hootie's a big South Carolina.
Like Hootie.
Yeah.
And then the next week get Darius Rucker, because apparently they're the same guy, but they
that's right.
Right there. That's 2 for the price of 1.
Yeah. You could, if you're losing, he could come out and sing Let Her Cry. Let the tears fall down like rain.
Right, exactly.
If you're winning, he could come out and sing Hold My Hand.
Hey, next week do a little wagon wheel.
That's right. Rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, just that just, but it seemed
That's
odd
hilarious.
to me that they're selling those.
But Clint, the Arkansas Razorbacks have an official ham.
Oh yeah, Petty Jean.
Petty Jean, that's right. So every time I hear that commercial, it makes me so proud. When they say the official ham of the Arkansas Razorbacks, I think, yes, that's my team. We have an official ham.
So how does this, how do they come up with this stuff? Because I was watching UFC one time. Talk about how do they come up with the official ham of the Razorbacks? It was corn nuts. And they're like, corn nuts, the official corn snack of the UFC.
Yeah.
What do they do? Do they call up corn chips? Like Frito-Lay, they made it like cornmeal, hey, Frito-Lay, we're about to make corn nut, the official corn snack. Do you want to pony up some dough?
How did that beat out popcorn?
You see, that's what I'm saying.
Tell me corn nuts beats popcorn? To be the official?
I'm not a big popcorn guy. I'd rather eat corn nuts.
Really?
Yeah, I'd rather eat corn nuts than popcorn.
I think your average UFC fan would be the opposite.
Well, you're probably right, but is it just whoever pays them to become the snack?
Yes.
Are there contests? There should be contests if you're going to do this.
Should be.
You shouldn't just be able to be the official corn snack of something unless you've won a corn snack competition.
Although I am a big fan of Petty Jean products.
No, Petty Jean's delicious.
Petty Jean's wonderful.
I need to try their hot dogs sometime because
their hot dogs are
get
pretty
me off
good.
Nathan's.
The bacon is solid.
Yeah,
bacon's solid. I'll tell you, it's hard to find, but their chicken loaf is magnificent.
Now, have I told you my Petty Jean smoking Petty Jean bologna story on here?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought I had.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? Let me use this segue to plug Hometown Roofing. If you need a roof, contact Robert or Cammie Branscombe for all your roofing needs.
They will hook you up with a roof.
That's a professional, almost commercial, wasn't it?
All right, now we got another one.
Yeah, this one freaked me out, man.
That's right.
It was freaking me out, man.
This guy's kind of the gift that keeps on giving.
He really is.
Yeah.
So I'll let you go ahead and give this one, Big T.
Well, good old Aaron Rodgers was on a podcast and admitted that to stay mentally healthy, he has used hallucinogenics, a particular hallucinogenic from Peru, to keep his sanity and to help him focus as a football player. Yeah.
There was a pitcher one time that did throw a no-hitter on acid.
Yeah.
So there was that. Man, maybe they're onto something.
Yeah.
Maybe they're.
I did hear a conversation one time with extreme. It was actually Joe Rogan and Alex Jones.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you know who Alex Jones is.
Yeah,
right?
I do. Yeah.
He's one of those that, right-wing conspiracy theorist guys, right? And Alex Jones was arguing that whenever you do hallucinogenics, that what you see is actually reality. And he was talking about seeing like little purple men coming out of the woods and stuff. And that's that the government doesn't want us to use them because that's reality.
Yeah.
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 It explains a lot with him.
It does. It does.
And anyway.
Yeah, no, but I mean,
if you're a football player, Clint,
yeah.
do you want your quarterback tripping on some kind of mushrooms or something?
Probably not. Just being honest with you, I know I would. I mean, do they not drug test for mushrooms in the NFL? Is that just not? Is it not?
I guess I don't know.
I mean, he needs to hook Josh Gordon up. That boy keeps getting suspended.
Yeah, he could.
Like, hey man, get off whatever you're on, Gordon. Come over here and get on this stuff. But
yes, yeah.
No, man, it's hard to. If he just started the last couple of years, he's had a couple good seasons.
Yeah, but the thing is, Clint,
do they must wear off during the playoffs?
That could explain why he can't complete what he tries.
He's like good for 17 weeks.
Dude has arguably, I've always said, if you designed a quarterback, Aaron Rodgers is the guy you would design because he can run, he can pass, he can make any pass, he can make any throw. I mean, if you were to pick out a quarterback out of pretty much anybody over the last several years, I mean, you wouldn't pick out Brady. Now, if you knew how much he won, you would. But I mean, Brady doesn't have the arm Aaron Rodgers does. He doesn't have the physical ability Aaron Rodgers does.
Can't run. He don't have Aaron Rodgers' wheels. I mean, no. Aaron Rodgers, I think, is pretty much the modern day John Elway.
Yeah, I mean,
that's who I would compare him most to. Would be this generation's John Elway.
He can make any throw. He can, but there's something. Now, I would argue, well, the something that's held him back is his team won't draft him a daggum receiver, but
no,
maybe it's the stuff he's getting from Peru that's holding him back too. I don't know.
I mean, they the year that he had a really good year, they drafted his replacement. It just They did the same thing to Brett Favre. I mean, it's the organization. Yeah. That's what they do. But
of course, now they're wondering if Jordan Love's even going to stay on the roster.
Yeah.
So anyway. All right, Clint. So just real quickly, the basketball team has finished their European tour. They were 4-0. Today they beat a team that was a professional team, a team of mostly older players. Traylon Brazil, the transfer from Missouri, had 28 points today. Had a highlight reel dunk, putback dunk off a Walsh miss that is all over Twitter and elsewhere. It's a beautiful, beautiful dunk. He really showed out. Muss had 4 different starting lineups. He started the first 3 games he started. He had 3 different starting lineups. Everyone got a start. And the biggest negative was turnovers. Now, some of those turnovers were the European rules for traveling is a lot tighter than what American basketball players face. But Muss was still frustrated with them because he said there was over 100 turnovers in those 4 games. And he said he's going to watch every one of them on the flight back and break them down. And so he's not happy with them. But this team looked good, man. They played well together. They threw a lot of alley-oops and stuff like that, and that's where they had some turnovers. They were trying to get fancy a lot,
Yeah.
different things.
Well, and I think this is going to be invaluable experience for them guys to be able to get over there, go play overseas, play away from home, just gel, have bonding experience. I think there's not a negative about doing this.
Yeah.
Especially as they went 4-0. Now, if you slipped and fell and lost one, then maybe not.
Yeah.
But like I said, everybody got to start. There was one game where Darian Ford didn't play. I think the second game they only played like 8 players, which was weird. But
yeah.
So all in all, I'm excited. I mean, I watched a little bit of it. They look crazy athletic.
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell this is an athletic basketball team.
Yeah.
Nolan Richardson would have saliva coming down, and he'd just be drooling at the thought of what this team could do with the 40 minutes of hell.
One thing that was really neat about this trip too is Muss really let them have a good time.
Yeah,
they had a lot of fun. I think today before the game, or the time difference, it was different, or maybe sometime they just made a trip over to Switzerland just to go to Switzerland. They just so they could hit another country and learn about another country. And Muss talked about in his press conference that some of the tour guides that were with him was complimenting about how most teams that go over there are not as loose as what they were. That a lot of the teams, the coaches like structure their time more so that they're in their hotel longer before games and resting and all that kind of stuff. And Muss, I think, let them get out and have a little fun. There was videos of them playing on the beach. Yeah. One of their pre-games, they went out in the sand and did their pregame stuff out in the sand and stuff like that. So,
which everyone in Arkansas thinks that's cute and fun and awesome until you start losing games.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's cute now. Like, let him go over there and let him lose a game, and they'll be like, yeah. He's the time to be more serious. Huh?
He would have lost. Everybody be like, he ain't taking us serious over there.
Yeah.
And all that guy does is play games.
Like Randy.
They need to fire him.
They need to fire. They're out there playing hopscotch on the beach instead of learning to commanded chest pass.
Yeah. Anyway, so and it's crazy, but Clint, have we ever talked about the basketball team this much this early?
We haven't, but when you have the number, they said if you put everything together, transfer everything, you have the number 2 recruiting class. I mean, they're going to talk about you.
Our football team is in the middle of fall practice.
Now, I am excited about this.
People are still talking basketball right now.
Yeah.
And how good this basketball team is going to be.
Well, but you've got a chance to watch them on Flow Sports, Flow Sports, which everyone seems to rave about how good it is.
Yeah.
And there's a hint of sarcasm in there in case it's not coming through the airwaves.
Yeah.
Now the football team's up and going.
Yep.
Fall camp, if you want to call it fall camp, is happening. Not feeling very fall-like out there.
Yeah, for sure. It's hot. They had a scrimmage Saturday. I forget how many plays they said they did. I think it was 150 plays. You remember Petrino did like 250, 300 plays, scrimmages, something like that.
That doesn't sound like a Petrino thing.
But sounded like they mixed it up well. They did some 1s versus 1s, 2s versus 2s, 3 versus 3s, 1 versus 2s, things like that. They didn't have any stats, really, okay, but apparently KJ had a great day.
Yeah.
That he was very accurate. Matt Landers had a 50-yard touchdown. And a 65-yarder. Warren Thompson had a 40-yarder. Hazelwood for 25. Trey Knox had a 20 and a 35-yard receptions. Those weren't touchdowns, I don't think.
Right. Yeah.
Raheem Sanders, Rocket Sanders, had another 20-yard. So if you just total those passes up right there, and I'm getting this from Hog Sports. This was a public article.
Yeah.
There. Then Malik Hornsby played about 12 to 15 snaps at receiver, they said. And then he, of course, played quarterback, looking pretty good. Tyrus Washington is a guy they're talking about a lot at tight end. He's a freshman, they say, that looks really good. He looks the part. He's going to get a lot of playing time at tight end, I think. Isaiah Satanga is looking good. He's
I keep hearing that name a lot.
Yeah,
a lot. And I don't know. It may have been in my head, or I may have sent this to you on Marco Polo, because I mean we're talking about the scrimmage here, but you're talking about a lot of good things about the wide receivers.
Yeah.
Have we ever had this deep of a wide receiver core from 1 to?
Well,
7?
the thing is, we really don't know, Clint, because they still haven't done it on the field.
Yeah.
Like I think, and you brought up when we did talk about it, and you brought up as far as recruiting stars and things like that.
Yeah.
These guys, 4 stars, 5 stars. Yeah, there's some depth there. But, you think of the Joe Adams, Jarius Wright, Chris Childs, those guys were pretty solid too.
Oh, you're right.
Kobe Hamilton, that was a deep, and those guys had put it on the field a little more. We're still waiting on these guys. We're hearing a lot of good things from camp, though. One of the guys that I didn't think, I'll be honest with you, I'd heard that I just heard he wasn't that good, is McAdoo. I know some kids that played against him, and they said they wasn't that impressed. They said there was other guys on his team that were better than him at Clarendon. Our buddy Wes, former defensive coordinator at Carlisle, he had seen him play. He wasn't that impressed with him. Sam Pittman's bragging on the guy.
Yeah.
The wide receiver coach is bragging on the guy. He's saying he's tough. What I heard, he was thin, but they say he's tough. I saw some video of him running some routes and making some catches, and he looked good. He was catching the ball with his hands away from his body. I mean, he looked good.
Yeah. I think a lot of them guys are probably the wide receivers in high school, especially smaller level, probably better evaluated at camps and stuff.
Yeah, and especially if they don't have a quarterback that's
that's
on the ball very well and things like that.
I mean, you get them at camps and they may show a different look. So that doesn't mean. But I talked to another guy that personally knew him and said, "Man, this kid's going to be special.
Yeah,
he's going to be special."
Yeah,
so I mean, man. But go ahead. You're talking about that. I interrupted you about the wide receivers.
Well, no, I'm just saying that I think we'll see when they hit the field. It sounds like Hazelwood is stepping up as a leader. I think we talked about that a little bit with Big O. So, but it has the potential to be a deep crew. I think you're right. There's potential there. We're just going to have to see if they can put it on the field. Warren Thompson's having some good practices.
Yeah.
From what we're hearing.
No, when Warren Thompson looked good last year at times. A lot of people blame that interception that KJ had against Penn State. Said, no, if that had been Burks would have came back to the ball, and that's
yeah.
But no, all in all, man, I'm excited about it because the thing about it is I think you could have with the guys you could have a Adams, Childs, Jarius Wright situation. Where you don't have one receiver that's got 1,600 yards, but you may have 3 that have 700.
Yeah,
something like that. That's why I'm really, really excited about this season to see where this team ends up. Anything stand out to them on the defense side, Travis?
They're really liking Terry Hampton, the transfer from.
Man, that's what I heard. I heard that he's just a high motor guy who he's going to pack your lunch.
Coach Kennedy, today Sam Pittman was at the touchdown club. So after practice, Coach Kennedy spoke with the press, which they've been bringing in assistant coaches to speak with the press. And Coach Kennedy, the offensive line coach, this is his first time speaking this year. And he was asked about Hampton. And he said, look, I've never blocked an SEC defensive lineman. He said, but my guys have. And he said, I've asked them. He said, is Terry Hampton an SEC defensive lineman? He said, I've asked Stromberg and Latham and those guys. And they go, oh, yeah, coach. He's for sure an SEC defensive lineman. He said, that's the best I can tell you of how good he's doing. Is he's gained the respect of our offensive line that's been around the block. And they've blocked some good players. So that makes you feel really good about him for sure. There's some other guys. Jordan Crook had a good one. Nico Daviler.
True freshman out of Morgan Momel.
He's 6'4", 275 defensive lineman. They're really bragging on him. In fact, Pittman said there's going to be no red shirt. He's going to be on the field. He's a good player. So that's really, really good. Another one is, and this is a name I haven't heard a lot, Patrick Kutis. He's a defensive lineman. He's 6'6", 303.
I've heard the name.
And
is he from Georgia?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
And Pittman said he's making a huge charge toward the 2 deep. So, I mean, you're getting the 2 deep on the D line. You're in there a lot. Yeah. So that's another good one. So anyway, it's just lots of good things coming out of it. There's some other stories on Hog Sports if you want to get on there, if you're a member there, or you can go listen to some of the press conferences. If you go back and look at some of the press conferences about you can hear stories, them talk about the defensive backs. There's a lot of good, there's some depth there. There's some good, the cornerbacks and things like that. So,
yeah. And that's the biggest thing that I think is different about this team than teams Arkansas had in the past is the depth.
Yeah.
Is the depth. I mean, obviously you don't want anything to happen to KJ, but the depth of this team is just completely
for sure
different from top to bottom.
Yeah. So, well, there's more practices to go. Before the season starts, we'll see. As they keep going. But if you didn't get to hear Pittman's speech at the touchdown club today, he did a great job as usual. It was so funny at the beginning. He said, David Basil does a whole, like he thanks everybody, he does these big thank yous forever at the beginning of the, as he's greeting everybody. And Pittman gets up there and says, hey, if you're one of the 5 people that Basil didn't thank, raise your hand. He goes, we appreciate you too. He said, we'll get together after this or something. He said, I'll talk to y'all after this. Anyway, It was so funny, man. But he talked about how they graduated every player. They had 100% graduation rate. And he said, everybody kind of applauded that. He goes, no, he said, I don't get the credit for that. And he said, it took me 6 years to finish college. And he said, but I did get a quality PE degree out of the deal.
That's funny.
He said, I don't know if did anybody else enjoy college as much as I did. But anyway, he was and the whole thing, he did talk about how, last year, people were talking about KJ was a little heavy. He said KJ's solid. He said, I punched him in the stomach the other day just messing with him. And he said it was hard. He said, he trying to be Fabio? He said KJ looked at him funny, like he didn't know who that was. So he sent him a picture of Fabio later. So anyway.
No, I did enjoy. I read an article on Saturday Night South with him talking about KJ. He said he had me the entire time. He goes, but second half of the Rice game, KJ really won the team over.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he became the leader of that football. He goes, the second half of that Rice game came KJ's team. He said, and then after Texas, he had everybody.
Oh, yeah.
He said he had me a long time ago, but that's when he had everybody.
SEC Network had that Texas game and the Ole Miss game on this week. I watched them both.
Yeah,
those were some exciting games, man. For different reasons, but
this team's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
gonna be.
Well, Clint, we got a little activity what you wanted to do.
He did. I'm so happy. Saturday Down South basically did a ranking of the coaches from 1 to last who they think would win the fist fight.
Okay.
Now, I think we've agreed on unified MMA rules for this fight.
Yeah.
Not prison rules, unified MMA rules.
Okay.
So we're going to figure out which SEC coach would win a fight. So I was started doing these.
This is the type of in-depth coverage that you only get from the Big C, Bigger T podcast.
Now, to make it an even 16, I added Steve Skarskisian and Brett Venables in here. They've been randomly played.
Skarskisian, yeah.
Whatever, who cares? He's going to lose his first match anyway.
Skarskisian.
By the way, let's just start with him. He's got Billy Napier the first round. Billy Napier, head coach of Florida, versus Skark.
I'm going to go Sarkeesian because he's going to be
Napier's got them crazy Cajun eyes, man. I think Napier on this.
Well, I just think Sarkeesian's going to be a little inebriated and he's not going to feel pain.
Okay. I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna fight you that hard on it. I'm not gonna fight you. So now let's go to the other coach that we just added, Venables.
Yeah.
Tough guy.
Yeah.
Tough guy. He's got Eli Drinkwitz in the first round.
Venables.
I want to go with Drinkwitz because he did go to the MIT of the South, to the Arkansas Tech University. But I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to go.
Venables is wiry.
Yeah.
He's wiry.
All right. Now, this next match, a little bit of young line versus old line.
Okay.
Shane Beamer versus Jimbo Fisher.
Ooh. I think.
Jimbo's more of just a Karen to me, and he's a quitter too. So let's not forget that.
See, I think if it was WWE rules, I think Jimbo's gonna be Ric Flair.
Right.
He's gonna find a way. He would find a way to cheat to win.
I gouge something like that. But this is MMA rules.
This is MMA rules.
So I'm going Beamer all the way here.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go Beamer because Jimbo would be like Ric Flair. you know, he'd be no, 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 and then kick you in the nads. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
110%.
yeah,
But you can't do that in MMA.
can't do that in MMA.
You can't do that in MMA.
Beamer's just gonna So yeah.
So this one's a good match. I think it's a little bit lopsided. We're just talking pure fist fight here. Clark Lee, head coach at Vanderbilt,
Yeah.
tough looking guy,
Yeah.
versus Brian Kelly with a fake Southern accent.
Oh, Kelly's gone.
Yeah, Clark Lee's going to destroy him. Okay, so that's one side of the bracket. On to the next round. Now we're going to the other side of the bracket.
Okay.
Okay, this one is pretty lopsided. Mike Leach, hilarious.
Yeah.
I love that he's in the SEC because he's bonkers, and I love everything about him.
Yeah.
But he's not going to beat Brian Harsin in a fight. He's just not.
See, but here's the thing. I think Leach goes Hoist Gracie on you.
You think he pulls a heel hook out of nowhere?
He like all of a sudden you're not paying attention and somehow your arm's broke just because he studied up on how to do it.
Okay, so you're going Mike Leach.
I'm going Mike Leach. I think
I'm going to tell you what we've done here.
they
had Mike Leach at the last seed, and Harsin is the number 1 seed. We just had a 1 seed, got 16, take down a 1.
Yeah, look at us.
All right. The next fight, the pit boss, Sam Pittman.
Yeah.
Most lovable guy in the world.
Yeah.
Taking on Nick Saban.
Oh, in the first round?
In the first round, man.
Yeah, I
think Pittman's just stronger.
Yeah.
I think Pittman's stronger. Plus, Saban's like 78 years old.
I think Pittman's just he gets those paws on him. It's done.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
All right. Now we have Mark Stoops versus Josh Heupel, who looks like Chumley from Pawn Stars.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Stoops. Just because Heupel's Heupel, it was an Oklahoma quarterback. Yeah. And
Stoops
I'm not gonna root for them for anything, honestly.
Stoops is like that old man that you just don't want to mess with.
Yeah, he's got old man.
Stay away from that guy. There's nothing about him. You stay away from him.
He could, like when you're working on your truck and there's a bolt that you just can't get to come out, and your dad would come out and he could get it right away.
Yeah.
That's Mark Stoops.
Yeah. It just make you feel stupid, like really useless because
and you're working out all the time, you're a football player, you should be able to get that. And you think you're strong, but your dad could get it.
Yeah, that old man strong.
He just got that old man. That's Mark Stoops. That's why he wins that.
There you go. Now, this is the most exciting first round matchup to me.
Okay.
It really is.
Yeah.
As soon as I say it, do you know who it is?
I think I know who it is. I know one of them.
Who's one of them?
Kiffin.
Kiffin versus Kirby Smart.
Oh, wow.
This is a good one. And I tried to do these based. They got a little bit wonky there, but I mean, I didn't cheat on these. So this is going. See, Kiffin's Kiffin, if it's WDs, he's Eddie Guerrero. He's going to throw you the chair, go down like you shot him, and then get the ref to get you disqualified.
Yeah, or is Kiffin, is he I don't know. Is he a Muhammad Ali? Is he talk that trash but then backs it up?
I don't think so.
Kirby's tough though, man.
Kirby did play football at Georgia.
He did.
And Kirby's pretty animated. I'm gonna give the edge to Kirby Smart. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I would love to see this fist fight.
If it was Monty Kiffin, Lane's dad,
yeah.
Monty Kiffin, probably right now, and he may be dead. I don't know. Could kick any of these coaches' tails probably because he was a tough old man.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say I'm gonna agree with you, Kirby.
All right. So let's go back over here. We're on to the next round.
Okay.
We have Mike Leach, surprising, fresh off the upset of the number 1 overall seed.
Yeah.
But this time he's got to take the pit boss. I'm going to give it to Pittman because I think at the end, Lane Kiffin's going to need to land a big kick, and he just can't do it.
Leach,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It was such a good joke, and I messed it up.
Yeah.
It was brilliant, and then I messed. But yeah, Leach will need a big kick, and Pittman won't be able to do it.
That's right.
He won't be able to beat Pittman. I'm going
yeah,
Pittman.
I'm gonna go Pittman.
On to the semis with Sam Pittman. All right, now this is another solid fight here. Because, I mean, you've got former college athlete Kirby Smart versus I can get those lug nuts loose, Mark Stoops.
Yeah.
I'm going Stoops. I'm going Stoops.
Hey, he's bowling up against Calipari.
Dude, you know what? That was the other holy schnock. He's like, man, could you imagine? I mean, like, it's like the opposite. It's like Bizarro World, Pittman and Musselman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I'll go Stoops.
Hey, by the way, Travis, just so you know, Kentucky is a basketball school.
Yeah.
All right. Clark Lee versus Beamer.
You know, I don't know if I know what Clark Lee looks like.
He's pretty tough looking.
I guess
he's probably sad from being at Vanderbilt. He'll probably come in really sad.
No, but he said Vanderbilt's going to be the best team in the world, remember?
So he's delusional. So I'm going to go with Shane Beamer.
Yeah.
All right. Shane Beamer. All right. Now, this is OU versus Texas. Venables versus Sark.
Venables.
Yeah. All right. Now, we're to the semifinals.
Yeah.
I'm going to, unfortunately, go with my gut over my heart here.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick Mark Stoops in a fight over Sam Pittman.
No, I think Pittman's got the old man strength too. He's got the offensive line hands, man. He's been teaching those offensive line drills like years, holding dummies.
You twisted my arm.
You go with dummies.
Pittman. So now we got Beamer Ball versus Venables.
And I think Pittman's that guy, like, goes to the bar with all his buddies, and he's got that loudmouth friend that's always getting into fights. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Buddy's about to get his butt kicked, and then all of a sudden Pittman just walks over, knocks everybody out, goes back and just hangs out at the bar. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that.
Like, that's kind of how I see Pittman. He's one of those guys. He's so nice. Everybody likes him, but he's that good friend that just kind of, keeps everybody, he can clean house when he has to, kind of thing. Anyway, sorry. I'm overanalyzing.
You are.
Yeah. All right. What's next?
So Venables or Beamer?
See, I like Venables.
I do too.
I just have that picture in my mind of him with that coach pulling on him. Like he's like a banny rooster trying to get into a fight, man. I mean, like, he may not be the biggest guy or the strongest guy, but like, he's just gonna just tear you up. You know what I mean? Like, he's just gonna rip into you. He's that defensive coordinator that just, yeah. So yeah, I'm going Venables.
All right, so we are to the finals now.
Okay. Sam
Pittman versus Venables.
Oh, two contrasting styles.
Yeah. You got short stocky, you got the reach.
Man, two different weight classes.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think Pittman gets a takedown and just finishes it off ground and pound.
Yeah, I think so. I think the only thing if I mean he could Venables just just outlast him.
Yeah.
But
so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
I think the just strength difference. Hey, and Pittman's lost some weight now,
Yeah. So you give it. So who we give it to? We give it to Pittman or Venables?
Let's go with Pittman.
Go with Pittman. Because you know what? At the end of the day, we're homers.
That's right, we are.
We are. At the end of the day, we're homers.
Our coach is the baddest man in college football.
You heard it here. We did it bracket style, and we reasoned every pick.
Hey,
including that Mike Leach was a jiu-jitsu master.
All you other schools out there, our coach could beat up your coach.
Exactly.
Take that.
Mm-hmm.
Our coach is tougher than your coach. And you ain't got no ice cream. Wait, I don't have no ice cream. Ice cream sounds good.
I like ice cream.
Yeah. Anyway, well, Clint, I think we solved a lot of the world's issues tonight.
We did, and I think everybody here is better for having listened to us.
I think the world is a better place for this having gone out over the airwaves.
Yes.
All the internets and all that it shall go.
Hey, by the way, guys, can I ask you a question? Why haven't you liked, shared, and subscribed?
Why?
Do it now. Hey, you want to? Hey, boys and girls, you want a sticker?
Look at that guy.
Yeah.
Look at that guy. He's got a red vest on. Hey, yeah, like, share, let people know about this thing. We need advertising, and that's you people. We need you out there. Once again, a couple of y'all have let me know if you would like a shirt. Let us know what size you would like. We'll get those ordered here pretty quick. If you'd like a shirt, we also have some stickers. And Clint, I do have some keychains. I don't have one with me.
Ooh.
Limited supply of those. I only got 10 of them.
Yeah. I
just wanted our logo to be on a keychain. I just saw it on the side.
I thought, I painted the duck blue because I always wanted to see a blue duck.
I always wanted to see a blue duck. So what's wrong with? I wanted to be on a keychain, so now I'm on a keychain. Take that. Anyway, seriously, folks, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for those of y'all that listen every week and download and all that kind of stuff. And for your feedback, like and share, let people know, let us know what you think. Let us know what you think about our coaches on who would win in the fights. Are we right?
Yeah.
Are we just
being right on the winner?
Are we just being homers? Is Sam Pittman really tougher than everybody else?
He is tougher than everybody else.
Is he? Well, Clint, I have a recommendation for you, something to watch. You may have already watched it.
I do tell.
It's 13 men, 13.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
About the men that went in and saved the Thailand soccer team.
Yeah.
It's got Viggo Mortensen in it.
I have seen the advertisement where it looks amazing.
It's actually a pretty good movie. I didn't know if it'd be any good because it's just a free with Amazon Prime movie, but Ron Howard directed it, and it's based on a true story. And I wasn't aware of what they had to do to get those kids out of there, and the steps they had to go to get them out was pretty amazing. So anyway, if you get a chance to watch it, it was worth watching. Watched it this last week and enjoyed it. So anyway, take it for what it's worth. Thank y'all so much, Clint. You have a great week.
You have a great week.
And hope all is well for you and yours. School is starting. Kids, y'all learn something. Get smarter. Or at least pretend.
Be smart like me.
It makes your teachers feel better when you
Like
pretend.
me.
Yeah. Hey, peace out.
Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Listen, that's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Listen, I wake up in the morning, I bow my head to pray. Mama told me if I don't, ain't nothing gonna change. These prayers breaking up hard drive so I can sow the seed. Ain't afraid of no aches and pain. Lord knows I gotta follow his lead. That's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come.